Okay, the cow catcher has some very critical parts to it. It's basically going to be a lofted part, and you got to make sure that you get the two pentagon shapes perfectly over top of each other, or it won't shell and you won't have a square plane to cut these insets onto the face of the cow catcher after you shell it out. So let's go ahead and create a sketch, and again we want to build this from the bottom up. Let me draw just a line segment connected to the origin. Oh, I didn't get it perpendicular. I'll fix that in a second. And let's see, I do want it to be 1.8 inches and 90 degrees. Oh, no, it was 90 degrees of that. Okay, now fix that in a second. If you get something skewed, remember we have these geometry tools that we can square things up again. So I could use the horizontal on that, and then both of those need to be 1/4 inch high. Next thing I might want to do is let's just dimension that point. Now that's in the center of that 0.9 inches. But let's go ahead and dimension that is in the center. It's 1 inch above the bottom and 0.9 from the side. So then that's going to allow me to build those sides to be isosceles. Okay, so there's the bottom face. Next thing we want to do is do a work plane. So of course I need to do an offset work plane that's built up to loft 2. So that's going to be parallel to the XZ plane. So if I pick plane and select XZ, yeah, we could have taken the time to select the offset, but there's another way to do that. If I click at that corner, then I can start moving it up, and I can either drag it exactly to where I want it, which the total height is 0.75, or you can actually type the number that you want. So hit OK. So that creates my work plane. Of course, we want to put the sketch on that work plane. And then, very important, that you project the geometry of your other pentagon. So now all those lines are projected, and when I go back to isometric view, I can see that all my purple lines are projected in green up to my new sketch. Okay, so now again we might want to just one thing we could do a construction line. I'll make sure I get this centered again. Turn off construction line tool. And then let's draw. I just eyeballed a line there. Let's dimension that. That needs to be 1.2 inches. And then of course the distance to the center is 0.6. So that'll center that up. And again, I need to draw a couple more lines. go ahead and dimension those. Those are 1/4 inch exactly. And now if I draw a line and make sure I'm on that construction line, it'll at least be isosceles. Now I just need to get the distance correct. So the distance from there to that center point is 0.75. Okay, now we can go ahead and finish the sketch. Do a loft. Click to add. Select the sketch, select the profile. Click to add, select the sketch, and then select the correct profile. And there it is. Of course, at this point now we can go ahead and hide the visibility. Click around to the bottom face and we'll shell it out. What is the shell thickness? The shell thickness is 1/10 of an inch. Okay, and here's the test of if you have your offset done correctly, or your plane perpendicular or not, that it's normal. You can put a sketch on that face. If you can't put a sketch on that face, you don't have it built correctly. Once we're on there, let's do the offset tool. Because that's offset 1/10 of an inch. Finish and go ahead and do a cut of 0.05. And just repeat that on the other face. Okay, and then finally, go around to the back. We need to build some pegs. So what we might want to do is just put some center points out there first and dimension them. Of course, that point from the center better be 0.9. It is. And you'll notice on the detail view of the cow catcher, they're 0.275 from the side. And then distance from the bottom, also notice from the detail view, that one is 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. And placement of these is very important, of course, because the 3 holes have to plug into the 3 holes on the front of the train body. And then, of course, the last one is what, 5/8 of an inch. Okay, and then the diameter of those is 1/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to draw those other circles quickly and use the equals tool because it's just easier to not use as many dimensions. Okay, finish the sketch. And go ahead and extrude those. Oh, wrong profile. Cancel. Make sure we, oh, wrong profile again. Let me zoom in, make sure I get the right pieces as parts this time. That's the problem, the box is half covering up that piece. And those come out a distance of 1/8 of an inch. And then there is a 0.01 chamfer, of course, on the end of each one of those. So there's the cow catcher.